Back to politics now. Donald Trump announcing the formation of a faith advisory board after meeting with evangelical leaders and conservative Christians yesterday. He also had this to say about Hillary Clinton's faith at the event, quote, "We don't know anything about Hillary in terms of religion. Now, she's been in the public eye for years and years, and yet there's nothing out there," end quote. Robert Jeffress is a senior pastor of First Baptist Church, Dallas. He was named to Trump's new advisory board. He's also a Fox News contributor. Kevin McCullough, nationally syndicated radio talk show host for Salem Media Group. So, Dr. Jeffress, let me start with you, since you have been named to this advisory board now, and you've been a supporter of Mr. Trump. Did he say that actually about Hillary Clinton, about her faith?
He did say it, but it was Trump being Trump. It was a minor aside, not a major focus. I've been with Trump 3 times this week, including a one-on-one, and as far as Christians go, what he's concerned about is not Hillary Clinton's denomination, it's her position. He is very intent on protecting the religious freedom of Christians and people of all faiths. He realizes the way to do that is through the Supreme Court. He is going to be committed to appointing conservative justices to the Supreme Court who will protect religious liberty and the sanctity of life. And there could not be a clearer distinction, Gretchen, between the kind of appointments Trump will make and the liberal activist judges that Clinton will appoint.
But, Kevin, you know, I thought what was interesting was, and tell me if this is true or not, when the organizers, 8 of them, were asked to raise their hands if they were going to endorse Donald Trump, that they didn't yet. Yet is the operative word. And I know that you thought the response to him in this community was mediocre yesterday. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that he walked out with a grand standing ovation. I think he first did no harm, which I think is what his main goal was to do. And then I think he began to build a bridge. Reagan said personnel is policy. His list of judges have helped, but he's gonna tell us more as Christians about what he wants to do based on who he picks as his running mate and what he starts talking about in terms of cabinet positions.
I thought it was interesting also to hear from Tim Wildman. He is in charge of the American Family Association, and here was his quote: "Trump's weakness is that he did not clearly state his views in answers to the questions asked by Perkins and Shackelford about when religious freedom and the LGBT movement come into conflict. Other than to say that these matters will be decided by the courts, I think it was admirable, though, and honorable for Trump to meet with Christian leaders." Dr. Jeffress, do you have a problem with those 2 issues coming together?
No, I don't, because Trump's very correct. The president doesn't make those decisions. It will be decided in the courts. And Gretchen, your point about the leaders not supporting who were there, that was the organizers. All of them were non-Trump people in the primaries. They voted for Carson, for Cruz, and yet Donald Trump went right past them and reaches the people in the pew with the overwhelming evangelical support. And so he wasn't expecting the support of those 8 guys up there, and their support
what about the support of the other? But what about the support of all the other people who were there? How does he go about really getting them?
Well, you have to start the conversation. And this is what people that would have been critical of Trump early in the primary said he did right yesterday. He came out with a good tone. He was very humble in how he presented himself. Most of that room was filled with people that probably didn't vote for him or support him in the primary. But you've got to do no harm to your own cause. He started with that. He has made some of the right moves in terms of what he's looking for in judges, and I do think religious liberty is going to be the defining. It's a question of, do you want a Justice Scalia or a Justice Sonia Sotomayor to replace Justice Scalia? And that's really what the election is going to come down to.
Yeah, and I know that he also spoke about political correctness and wanting to make sure that Christians didn't feel like they were under attack anymore in this nation.
He was authentic. He didn't fake it at all. And that's not going to satisfy some, but I think it's a good first start.
All right, I got to wrap it up there, Dr. Jeffress and Kevin McCullough. We're waiting on Hillary Clinton. Thank you.